필리핀 경기장 도시형.
I always wondered why your pets kept mouthing "help me" when I was over there. Now I know.
His name was Mojo, and he did not last very long. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Maybe someday we'll help you get your Mojo back. Anyway, down in the bottom left part of the map, Teldrum Alter from from the TeamLiquid.net in the green leading off. It is Zenio. And in the lower right part of the map in the blue from the team FXO, our Protoss player, it is Tear or Tear. But probably Tear.
I've always said Tear, but now you're making me tout myself.
I'm nearly positive that it's Tear. I mean, what kind of name would Tear be?
I get. Well, it is a Korean name.
Sometimes they pick a little bit like random names, right?
Yes.
Like Nestea, you know, he just happened to have a bottle of Nestea on his desk, so that's why he picked that.
Which is awesome, by the way.
I don't know. And I mean, you do see names like Dream and Oversky and things like that. So I suppose Tear is like a possibility, but I don't know. I always thought a lot of like the one word like cool like Korean SC2 and SC1 program names are always really neat.
Yeah. Oh, some of them are really, really cool. They sound intense. It gets you kind of pumped when you hear, you know, they have a cool action word as their name, but Tear just sounds more emo than anything.
Sounds like he should be playing Zerg. I'm just kidding.
LOL.
I like Zergs.
All right, 14 pool for Zenio as he wants to make sure he won't have to deal with any shenanigans at the beginning of this game. He's going to have out his Queens and Zerglings nice and early. Tear, on the other hand, of course, going for that Forge Fast expand.
Yep, that's right. Not too weird to see on this map at all. Going to wall off kind of between those two areas there. And luckily, finds his opponent right away, whereas it looks like Zenio is going to take a little while before he finds his opponent. Although with the timing of the probe, he should know kind of approximately where his opponent is, because not many people scout cross positions first on this map. There's not really a lot of reason to do that.
Now, one thing that's kind of interesting to note is that Tear actually sent out 2 probes to scout. Wanted to find his opponent really, really early. He's got one cannon coming up back at home. Yeah, he's retreating with one of them right now. Retreating, that's kind of an odd inflection there. Retreating with one of his probes is what I meant to say.
It's a little bit weird. And 2 probes. How many probes does it take to make a Nexus?
I don't know. Like, apparently 12.
It's like, well, okay, now down just to 1. I think that's the appropriate number.
Yes.
Not like the Thors from Alpha or something where it takes, like, what was it, 6 SCVs to make a Thor or something like that?
Yeah.
The Alpha or, like, the early beta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Those were the days.
Thor hero units are coming back, so.
I know. That'll be, well, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting is a good word for it.
Yeah. I'm going to miss my old Thors. But, I mean, I have high hopes for the Warhound. I mean, the way they're describing it could be really cool and better. So,
they were fun to play around with, but
yeah, that's right. You've actually gotten to play with the beta.
I played the beta
at
a few hours.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to play it at all yet.
I'm sure it's undergone some significant changes since then. But
I would imagine,
it was. I always tell the story, but it was funny because everyone wanted to play Dota in the single player. So Destiny and I were standing in line, and people were like, "Does anyone want to play the multiplayer?" So we just played it like 12 times in a row.
Yeah, I'd love to. I hope that I get the beta right away.
I do as well.
I'm told that I will, so I hope that comes through.
Probe is going to die here in just a second. Not really going to scout anything else. Of course, Zenio not really doing anything too out of the ordinary quite yet. Has a few links out now, but his opponent, Tear, filling in that wall with the Cybernetics core, building a Zealot to plug the last little gap there. So everything is standard as can be for now.
Yeah, now let's talk about what Zenio is doing here, right? I mean, so the standard right now in ZVP, and I think it's fair to say it has become the standard, is to go for 3 hatcheries before gas. And interestingly enough, I was about to say it's really hard to do that on this map because of the rocks of the third. However, if you put your third at that location right there, it's a little bit more cut off from things, but you can still get that economy going. So it looks like Zenio is going to try to go 3 hatches in a little bit of an unconventional way. Now, the question is, will Tear be able to kind of have the presence of mind to scout for this, to kind of scout for that possibility? If he gets in there and doesn't see the gases soon here, I think there's a good chance that he'll know, but it's going to be tough to get a probe in there now that the Zerglings are out, although 2 Zealots might be able to do it. So we'll have to see how aggressive he plans to be with this. But, yeah, I'm really curious to see if Tear's going to pick up on this.
Slightly more hardy than a probe, 2 Zealots indeed.
A little bit.
And but Zenio has really nice map control. As you can see, he sees the 2 Zealots moving across. He moves down the Zerglings that were sitting at the western Zelnaga Tower, pulls back on to creep the moment he's got 10 more Lings coming up, and he does indeed have gas down at his main and his natural. Just 2 for now. Looks like just restarting the mining on that second one.
Yeah, his timings were a little bit different. You know, normally you'd have that third base up a little bit earlier, but he still is going for that Roach Warren in the Evo chamber, and we probably will see a lair fairly soon as well. Although I wonder if he's going to use a little bit of gas to make some roaches just to stay safe. We'll have to see.
And nice job.
Yeah. Is it worth fighting? Is it?
I don't know. Tear's going to kill a lot of Zerglings here.
They're not +1 yet, though.
No, that's true. So it does still take 3 swipes, so it's not as bad as it could have been. Looks like he gets about 7 kills there in total, but loses, of course, both of those Zealots. The Zealots, of course, critically seeing that there was no expansion here, but Tear still has no idea of this expansion over here on the left.
Should have checked to see if Zenio clicked on those Zealots to check the upgrades before he attacked. I bet he did. I wonder if he did.
I would imagine. +1 finished almost immediately after the second Zealot was actually killed. So
now, interestingly enough, we see Zenio also putting down a Spore Crawler and things like that as well, just to kind of make sure that he's safe against the possibility of like DTs and stuff, because he really doesn't know what his opponent is doing right now. He doesn't know if it's Stargate, if it's Gateway. He's seen 2 Zealots, so he thinks he should know that there's a fairly good chance that there aren't a huge amount of Gateways out early on. But nice, that Zergling was like the best scout ever, actually.
Yeah, it was. That ended up working out really, really well. So Tear starting to tear after these units. He does have +1 done, but we have 5 Roaches coming out now. 5 Roaches plus the pretty large number of Lings that are already on the ground should be enough to stop this. We'll find out, though, as Tear's about ready to make his way in.
Yep, I don't think that Zenio's going to have any trouble at all defending that. In fact, the Zealots are going to make a run for it, and Zenio can just kind of chase him down now at this point. Speed is getting pretty close to finish as well, and he looks like he's going to try to trap these Zealots.
And I think he's going to do so at least a little bit, so captures a few of them. 1 Zealot does go down. The rest are taking some pretty significant damage as well. There's 2 down, 3 and 4.
Wow.
Cleans all of them up.
That was really well done by Zenio, too. Did you see how he was kind of pulling back Zerglings a little bit to kind of keep the damage at a minimum? He just wanted to slow down the Zealots to get them in range of the Roaches, so nicely done for him. Now it looks like Tear, though, is going for that +2 Blinkstalker plane. He's going up to, I believe, 7 Gateways. So
yes, he is.
So I don't think he's planning on taking a third. I'm thinking he's going to move out soon and just try to kill his opponent. We'll have to wait and see. Zenio checking for that third right now. Yeah, he doesn't see it. Throws down that Hydralisk Den as well. He's going to need a pretty buff army to take this down.
And looks like he does a little bit of damage to one probe, decides to leave it alive. He is trying to run away at the moment, but he gets a complete scout. He knows exactly what is about ready to hit him.
Absolutely huge scouting there by Zenio. Gets in, sees absolutely everything like you said. Yeah, that is going to really, really make it tough for this push to work for Tear. He throws down the Robo right away, so we may see him actually expand after putting on some light pressure, not really quite go all out with this.
And Zenio had already put down a Hydralisk Den as well. He's already got 5 Hydralisks hitting the field very soon. Group Spines is coming up at the same time, and it looks like Tear throwing down that Robo is going to try and expand out of this. He can't continue with this pressure.
Yep, that makes sense. He's like, all right, you caught me. I just won't use all my gateways right away. I'll make sure that I just kill the rocks and expand instead. Zenio checks it, though, knows exactly what's going on. Zenio's scouting this game has been really, really superb. If he loses this game, it's going to be a tragedy because he's really playing quite well at this point.
Oh, wow. And he's actually got a huge push making its way out soon. How many units do you have on the field? 8 Hydralisks, 5 Roaches, 59 Zerglings, but those numbers are continuing to go way, way up.
It's really interesting that he's going so Zergling heavy. I mean, there are a lot of Stalkers out for his opponent, but yeah, usually you see it just being kind of Roach Hydra, so it's quite a cool composition by Zenio. Don't know if Tear is really going to be expecting this. And how good will Tear's force fields be? That's kind of the big question here.
He does have a lot of energy left over.
He just used 200 of it, though.
Yes, he did, to put down a hallucination. Let's see, there's Guardian Shield, and looks like he's going to have to bounce away there. Phoenixes are making their way out, so they'll get a perfect scout on his opponent. We do have a Robotics Bay coming up as well to eventually move into Colossi.
Look at that, though, the Phoenix crossing under all the passing units, so he doesn't know there's this huge, huge stream of units coming across the map. Zenio right now, and that's a lot of Overlords as well. I think they're going to throw down some creep.
He did finish up Nubatai's Carapace. It looks like we have an attack coming in now as well. A lot of Zerglings are actually zoned out at the moment. Zenio with a good number of forces. Yeah, a few units coming through the front as well. Those Overlords just going to poop and creep maybe? Nope. Photon Cannon still there and defending pretty well. There's an Immortal in the mix. At the same time, Zenio running around the side and struggling to find a little bit of traction right now, but the supply is getting a little bit out of control. He can just keep throwing waves of units at his opponent here.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for Tear to defend on 2 fronts at once.
Oh!
Blinking in to take out a lot of those units. The Zerglings evaporated very, very quickly. Zenio still has some units at the front here, but he needs to be really careful. If he loses this army, he'd be in serious danger of a counterattack despite his huge supply advantage.
Yeah, absolutely true. And now there's a few Zealots being thrown in as well, but the creep is sitting pretty well outside of the base of Tear. We have a hidden base being taken for Zenio at the same time, so we'll be able to move on to 4 bases. Roach is trying to make their way off to the right. We do have a Spire coming up as well, as Zenio is going to start investing in some air units.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he doesn't really... I mean, he sees the Immortal, so he knows he needs to kind of think about the possibility of Colossus. So that's a smart thing to do. And although Mutalisks are very good on this map as well, so we may see him throw a couple of those out. That's a little bit less likely since he's invested so much into this Roach Hydra army. So difficult to attack through these choke points, so it seems wide, but it's really not with all the force fields that Protoss can throw down.
Very, very true. Did he just A-click his own pylon? I think he did.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Too many pylons. Can't have that.
No kidding. Silly traders. All right.
Yep.
Well,
not throwing down another one either.
No, we do have quite a few resources, or a lot of gas, I should say, banked for Zenio at the moment, as his Spire's going to be finished here in just a second, but he is maxed for now.
Wow. You know, I think we might see him push a little bit ahead, lose some units, replace it with Corruptors, and then try to go for it again. We'll see.
Well, he's shifting some Roaches back to the left-hand side. We do have one Colossus up as well. There's one Force Field. How much more energy is left? There's still a fair amount, but really only enough for a couple more Force Fields. A few units through the front, though, at the same time. Zerglings get in. Are they going to be able to get a Colossus kill? That would be pretty big.
Oh, he runs right into the Roaches.
Oh, no, he could have kept that alive.
Yes, indeed. And Tear just kind of being picked apart a little bit. Zenio coming from the other side. The force fields are all gone. The sentries are all gone now. And Zenio replacing it with Lings and Mutalisks.
Yeah.
Nice decision there. Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to go for the Mutalisks, and he is really, really tearing apart Tear right now.
Yes, he is. And as we can see, this base is about ready to go down. There's not really a way for Tear to reinforce because he hasn't even cleaned up all the units sitting there. He's going to try and shift back now, but the Nexus is already dead.
Yes, it is. Zenio ahead by 2 bases right now. Here come all the Lings. The Mutas are starting to pop out, and Tear's army is just looking so small at the moment.
Yeah, it is. I mean, an 80 supply deficit now. We have 13 Mutas already up, 3 more on the way. No upgrades quite yet, but I'm sure those will be hitting sometime soon. But with that base advantage, man, it is going to be hard for Tear to recover.
This is just a great switch by Zenio. I mean, this is the last thing that Tear is going to be expecting right now, to have Mutas flying to the back of his base as he's defending from the front from Roach Hydra, you know, for so long. And there we go. No cannons up at all. All the probes just getting destroyed.
Wow. Yeah, really big advantage now, and this base is going to have to get canceled once again. Not really anything that Tear can do about it. And Zenio, looked like Zenio was thinking about it. I don't even think that got canceled. That just got outright killed.
Nope, didn't get canceled. Tear's worrying about the Mutas in the back. And Zenio not quite paying attention yet. He is losing a few of those Mutas here, trying to come through the front as well. Zenio, I think, does need to pull back with those Mutas. Yeah, okay, lost a couple of them. But still, I mean, look at that. 100 supply ahead, a lot more Mutas on the way. And if you get into this position in ZVP on Teldrim Altar, you can literally just make Mutas until they're dead. I mean, you can just make 50 Mutalisks and fly around, bounce between the 3 bases, or 2 bases in this case. And there's not really a whole lot that Protoss can do about it. Tear's kind of caught in that situation that Notos ever wants to be in on Teldrim Altar, and there's not really a way out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, it takes a while to kill someone with just Mutalisks and Lings, but it's pretty much a guarantee in this scenario. Look how many Mutalisks there are now.
Yeah.
+1 upgrades is on the way. I'm sorry, +1 attacks is on the way. God, if he can get a couple of Colossi as well, that'd be huge.
Well,
1 goes down already.
Yeah, at this point, he can just kind of attack the army.
GG.
Yeah, and I mean, Tear not having the economy to go to High Templar, so no chance to win that one. Liquid Zenio giving a win for Team Liquid early on.